Welcome to another episode of File on the Play. I am your host, Kristy Love with Team NBS Media, and we have some stuff to talk about after this week one win against the Tennessee Titans. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome to File on the Play. To File on the Play, I am your host, Kristy Love with Team NBS Media. And before I get into today's episode, please make sure you guys follow Team NBS Media on all social media platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever, even Threads. And also make sure you guys follow us, teamnbsmedia.com. Check us out online as we have articles about sports, entertainment, lifestyle, even current events. So make sure you guys check us out online at teamnbsmedia.com. All right, you guys. So the Chicago Bears ended up getting the win against the Tennessee Titans in week one. We won 24-17. It was a ugly win. We do not deserve to win that game at all. We did not deserve it. Like, that win should have been a loss. I believe that wholeheartedly. But our defense did come through for us as we went ahead and got the W. It was ugly. Defense, beautiful. Offense, it stunk so bad. So let's go ahead and address the offense and what went wrong. Number one, Shane. His play calling was very suspicious. He's calling all these screenplays like at, I think it was 2nd and 29. Why would you call a screenplay going to the right? Like, why? For what? We need 29 yards. Like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know. It gave a lot of Lookahead. And I'm sure a lot of us have PTSD of Lookahead being our offensive coordinator. I know for a fact we have PTSD. I know I do. But play calling was bad. Like, Shane, this is your time to shine. Show us something different that we have not been seeing for years. And we come into this game and this is the play calling. Like, what's going on? Like, play to your quarterback's strength. Caleb did not look comfortable. He's part to blame too. He had a couple of overthrown passes. He looked unsure. He looked very uncomfortable. His footwork is not the best. It was a mess, but it's not all his fault. But, Caleb has to play better because it all falls down on you. A lot of people online have been going back and forth since the game ended Sunday, and it's low-key a uproar yet again with if we had Justin Fields, would he be getting the same? Oh, he's just a rookie. Oh, it's game one. Don't worry about it. No, Justin Fields would have got crucified. And yes, I'm bringing up Justin Fields. Like, come on. But needless to say, there's no excuses for the way the team as a whole played as far as the offense, Caleb included. Caleb had 93 passing yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. The no interceptions is great because that means the other team did not catch the ball that was intended to either a tight end or a receiver, but no touchdowns. But I will say, wide receiver Keenan Allen did drop a pass in the end zone. Like, he dropped it. Like, Caleb threw it perfectly to go in his hands, and he just dropped the ball, literally. So I felt like if he would have caught that, that could have been his one and only touchdown of the game. But, it went bad. He dropped it. And Caleb also, like I said, had a couple of overthrown passes in the game. And it's just like, Caleb, calm down, relax. Like you said, oh, I don't get nervous. Here come week one. You look anxious, like anxiety. And I get it. It's week one. You're a rookie. But you're also the number one pick in the NFL draft. There's no room for error. There is no room for error. When one, you have everything you need on the team. Two, granted, the line isn't the best, but you've shown that you trust your line. Three, It's not on him. Like I said, coaching. Matt Eberflus is in the hot seat. Like I said it in my last episode, he's in the hot seat, and I feel like if you see your offensive coordinator struggling with plays, why can't you step in and help him out? You're the head coach, and you know we were in the hot seat because if we do not have a successful season, Matt Eberflus needs to be gone. Good is gone. Instead of trying to find nicknames for each player on the team, being a cornball, find ways to make your offense even more explosive than you think they already are, because they didn't show any of that this past Sunday. None. The offensive line was extremely garbage. Um, Ryan Bates was in and out. Nate Davis got benched, I think. Braxton had some penalties. We have penalties called on the offensive line. Darnell White looked okay, but outside of that, like, complete garbage. Garbage. You know, at the end, Caleb did put the blame on him, but it's not all on him. It's not. It's not. And if you watch the game, you know clear as day it was not all on him. But that just shows he has leadership skills, and he's okay. So I guess you can say we got week 1 out the books, but thank God it ended in the win. But that game was ugly. And then, like I said, Keenan Allen, he dropped a couple of passes that should have been caught clear as day. He only had 4 catches for 29 yards. DJ Moore only had 5 catches for, I think, 36 yards. Rome Odunze only had 1 catch for 11 yards. Cole Kmet only had one catch, I think. Like, what's going on? Cole Kmet got paid like $50 million last year. He had over 700 yards last season. People say he's a top 5 tight end in the league. Well, he got to play like it too. DeAndre Swift had he played okay. He had 30 yards for, I think, 10 carries. He did what he could, but the line didn't allow him to be more than what he was on Sunday. And that's just unfortunate because you're only as good as the line allows you to be, and our line is garbage. But he does got to make some shake with what he has, because that's what being a good player in the league is. Make some shake. So if you go ahead and look at a total yards, we only had 148 total yards, 64 passing, 84 rushing. We had 11 first downs. We were 2 for 3 in third downs. We had 2 sacks on the day. So it wasn't good offensively for the Chicago Bears. And to make matters worse, we play the Houston Texans in front of company. Prime time, Sunday night, 7:20 kickoff. We play Houston in Houston, a playoff team. A team that just beat the Indianapolis Colts in a close game. If you look at Houston's numbers from last year, their defense had ranked 6th against the run, meaning DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson and them are not going to have a good day with running, because the Houston Texans, based on last year, were 6th in against the run. So they're going to stop our run. So that means Caleb Williams have to pass the ball, and our receivers have to catch the ball. It's not hard. Y'all are in the NFL. Y'all in the league. Keenan Allen and DJ had over 1,200 yards. What y'all doing? I'm not being hard because it's week 1. It is week 1, but you guys have 0 excuses this year. None. You have everything you need. There's no excuses. I don't care if it's week 1, get all the kinks out. That's what training camp is for. That's what preseason is for. I'm talking to the whole team, not just the offense. I feel like our offense should have had more time on the field during preseason, because some folks do say week 1 is another preseason game that just count. That's garbage to me, because you should always play your best even when it don't count. Come on, y'all not playing your best. But I had to say, the Texans defense is good. They're a playoff team. They went to the playoffs last year. They lost, but CJ Stroud, come on, he wants to pass the ball. So the Houston Texans ranked 20th in against the pass. So the defense is not good at, I won't say not good, but they're not the best at stopping the pass game. So that means we have to beat them where they hurt. Caleb has to pass the ball. He has to make better throws, timely throws, scan the field, find who you're going to pass the ball to, and they have to catch it. Practice your routes. Even after practice is over with, stay afterwards and get better. Practice how you play. I used to do sports. I did sports, dance team, drill team, whatever, and we always practice how we perform because the team I was on, we would always get first place. Always get first place. And we always practice how we performed. And that's how we always won first. Same for sports. So if y'all in practice BSing, y'all gonna play like y'all BSing. So that's just my opinion. Stay after practice and practice on where y'all lacked at in the previous game. Like stay 2 hours. Like, come on, if y'all really want this win and want to be a contending team and want to get the Super Bowl, you have to do stuff like that. Go the extra mile. So I'm rambling, but I'm just being honest. I want to see my team win so bad, but you guys cannot do it playing like this. You cannot. So to have a good offensive game, pass the ball a lot more because they're going to stop our run. They're going to stop. I don't know how, unless Swift can do some magic. I'm sure he can. He's no Jonathan Taylor, but with the Colts, he played the Colts last week. But come on now, come on now, come on now. And then Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, Mercedes Lewis, our tight ends, utilize them. They didn't get much going last week against the Tennessee Titans, so they have to go. So they have to call plays for our tight ends as well. But that's probably the key to beat. That's probably the key to the game for Sunday against the Houston Texans is to pass the ball because they're not good at stopping the pass. But our offense was horrific. It was bad. I just can't believe how we looked. I just can't believe that. I do want to give a shout out to DeAndre Carter. He is our kick and punt returner, and he looked really good on special teams. He had about 5 punt returns, and one of those returns he ran for 67 yards. Amazing. He looked good. Keep him there because Velus Jones Jr., if I can insert both these pictures right here, I will. He dropped the pad. He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. It went right through his hands like a whole goofy. Like a whole goofy. And I promise you, Twitter went up when Velus dropped that ball. And then Tennessee recovered. And then on that drive, they scored 3 points. They scored 3 points. I kid you not. They scored 3 points, and you can't do stuff like that. I don't care where they move Velus Jones. He's always going to show who he really is. He went from special teams, wide receiver. Now he's a running back. Come on now. Preseason, okay, he had 2 touchdowns in the game against Kansas City. But what are you doing when it's time time to play, when everything counts? What are you doing? Dropping passes, dropping balls? Like, gee, come on now. Come on now. So it only takes one time, and this is like beyond one time. He has to go. Cut him. Cut Velus Jones Jr. There's no reason why he should still be on this team. I listed 18 players that Ryan Poles kept since he became the Bears GM, and he's one of them. He needs to be the first player that Ryan Poles cut since he's been a GM for the Bears because he's useless. But of course, that's not going to happen realistically unless he really keep messing up throughout the season. I don't know, but you guys can call me the Velus Jones hater. I do not care, but he earned that title. He's just a ick. He's a ick. He's my ick for the Bears. Let's go ahead and talk about the defense. The Bears defense looked really good against the Tennessee Titans. We were down 17 zip at the half, and they came back and scored 24 unanswered points. And I've been saying all offseason that our Bears have an elite defense. Ever since the Bears acquired Montez Sweat mid-season last year, our defense has skyrocketed like something amazing. So last week against the Titans, we had 3 sacks. 2 sacks came from newly acquired Darnell Taylor from the Seattle Seahawks. He had 2 out of 3. Then the other person had the other sack was Javon Dexter. He had 1. The Chicago Bears did hit Will Levis 9 times in that game. Just looked amazing. Montez Sweat, though, was quiet as he only had 2 tackles and 1 quarterback pressure. He does have a toe injury, so that's probably why. But going into the Houston game, we have to, you know, we have to utilize every man on deck. The Houston Texans does have weapons. They have Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs. And CJ Stroud loves to pass the ball. He's not a mobile quarterback at all. He doesn't really rush the football. He likes to throw. So, with that being said, also our cornerbacks have to come alive again this week to go ahead and apply that pressure to their weapons. So, it should be a very good game to watch out for. We definitely have one of the best cornerbacks in the league in Jalen Johnson. I don't care what y'all say, but Jalen Johnson is one of the best. Okay. Jalen Johnson had a pick at the end of the game against the Tennessee Titans that pretty much sealed the deal, got us the win. We did have 2 interceptions in total on the whole game. One was a pick 6 from second year Tyreek Stevenson. He got a pick 6. And I also want to shout out Jonathan Owens. He went ahead and grabbed a block and ran that in for a touchdown. That was amazing. He's going to fit right in with the Bears also. A great fit. But all in all, overall, the Chicago Bears defense allowed 104 passing yards. We had 2 interceptions. And right now with those numbers, we are second in the league. Overall defense, we had a total of 244 yards that we allowed. 140 rushing yards because Tony Pollard was doing his thing. He's new in Tennessee. He just came from the Dallas Cowboys. He did amazing against the Bears. Like he had over 100 rushing up. He had over 80 rushing yards, and he looked good against our defense. So that's where that came from. We allowed 16 first downs, and we had 3 turnovers. So pretty good day for the defense. They saved our behind because, like I said at the beginning of the show, we should have not won that game. But defense, like, nope, I got y'all. With that being said, the Bears cannot rely on our defense to carry us week after week after week. Our offense has to get it together. There's no excuses for nobody on this team. Nobody. There's no excuses. We have to be the best. If we're going to win the division, we have to win games. We have to play right offensively. You have to play with alongside Caleb Williams' strengths and his weaknesses. His size may be a problem because he was 6 foot, and we had Justin Fields who was like 6'4", so he is smaller, but that don't stop nothing at all, to be honest, because Caleb been playing just fine with his size throughout college. Our offensive line has to block better. You guys have to block. We need to be looking for pieces to fill in this offensive line. Like, we need a whole new center because our center is bogus. We need a whole new line. I felt like we should have drafted players to help the line because we would have been fine with Justin Fields if we would have took those picks and maybe traded down and got some solid pieces for our offensive line. That's what I feel like. But, everything is done. We're here now. I'm rolling with it. Going back to our offense, Caleb Williams only had completed barely half of his completions. We just got to do better. Offensively, because these teams is coming. Texans is our real test because, Tennessee, Will Levis is not the best. A lot of people thought he was going to have another coming out game like he did last year as in his rookie year, where he scored like 4 touchdowns in his first game in the NFL. Nothing like that. The Bears defense was all over him. Um, Nothing at all. Um, so on to Sunday night, like I said before, Texans ranked 6th last year and against the run and ranked 20th against the pass. Pass the ball. That's the only way, in my opinion, we are going to have a really solid chance at winning. Run the ball. We can still run the ball, but call less screenplays because we're tired of that. I'm tired of seeing that. We all are. I wish Shane and Matt can do some trick plays like we used to with, I'll give Matt Nagy that he did call some trick plays that sometimes worked. I wish we could do something like that, you know, but that's wishful thinking. Um, our secondaries will have to stop their weapons. It's going to be fun for them though because they're ready to lock in and get going. Um, put pressure on CJ Stroud. If you can apply pressure throughout the game on CJ Stroud, another way to stop the Texans offense because if he's not passing the ball, he's not going to run the ball. So what is he going to do? That's what I feel like we should do to have some keys to win the game. Um, yeah, so I just honestly hope that the Bears do not embarrass us on national television. We did not make any second half adjustments at all last game, and we need to be a team of making adjustments if what we did the first half did not work. You have to make adjustments because one, you don't want to be predictable to your opponent. And the Bears have been predictable. Oh, they're not going to change in the second half. Come out third quarter. Nope, same BS. Same BS. Same screenplay. Same X, Y, and Z. Nothing different. Make adjustments. You're trying to win. We're playing to win. We're trying to win the division, the NFC conference, and Super Bowl. Wishful thinking. I'm not saying the Bears are going to go, but let's be honest. Every team in the league is playing to win the Super Bowl. So I just wish the Bears can be great. I understand you guys been online all ever since Sunday talking about Justin Fields this, Caleb Williams that. He's just a rookie. Give him time. X, Y, and Z. No. There's no excuses for Caleb Williams. Yes, he looked anxious. Yes, he looked uncomfortable. Yes, he didn't play good. Yes, he had overthrown passes. Yes, it's week one. There's no excuses. I'm not making no excuses for nobody because you know what you signed up for. You know who you're playing against. You know what you have to do. Do your job. Coaches included. There's no excuses. And if somehow week two we look similar to how we played this past Sunday, oh, we in trouble. We're in trouble. If we don't look any better at all, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. Because even though I'm not expecting Caleb to go out there and have a game of 250 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 50 rushing yards. He should at least had 150. I would have been fine if he would have had 125 passing yards. Somewhat okay, but 93 is unacceptable. And then what's our coaches doing? We have a history as a Bears team of never developing the quarterback. Look at Trubisky. Look at Justin Fields. Now we have a generational talent in Caleb Williams, and week one didn't happen, and look what happened. Us Bears fans deserve to have a quarterback that's like that. That's like CJ Stroud, Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Like Patrick Mahomes, like Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. Like, come on, we deserve that, but we never had that. And Justin Fields was the closest to what we had, and he had crumbs. Y'all want to say y'all hate Justin Fields because of how he played? Look at who he had to play. Look at his receivers. Somebody had told me this recently. Look at the receivers he had from the time he started till last year. We had Darnell Mooney as number one before we got DJ Moore. DJ Moore was the best thing he had, and DJ Moore had 1,300 passing yards last year. You know, the reason why we saw Justin Fields utilize his legs because he knew he only had less than 3 seconds to pass the ball or he's going to get hit. And that hit could cause to an injury. So he had to run because nobody was open. We had Dante Pettis, Tyler Scott. Who was our receivers? I can't think of the trash we had. Bellamy, I think. Like, we had trash receivers. Like, over half of the receivers, if not almost all, that Justin Fields played with are probably not even in the league right now, outside of Darnell Mooney. Like, think about that. If we do a deep dive onto the receivers Justin Fields played with for his 3 years in Chicago, 4 years in Chicago, where are they now? Let's think about that. So, anywho, yeah. So week 2, Houston against Houston in Houston. If we don't play better, if we don't look better, Caleb gonna have like at least 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I'm not too worried about our running game because we're playing a really good team against the run. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We are in trouble. So that concludes another episode of Five on the Play. But before I do want to shout out Tyreek Stevenson. He just made the Player of the Week for the NFL. He had 4 tackles, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown. That's that pick 6 that we had against the Texans, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud. He's one of my favorite players. I love the Bears drafted him. Great pick. Great pick. So shout out to him. Keep doing your thing because we're watching. We noticing. But that concludes another episode of Five on the Play. I am your host, Kristy Love. Come next week, we're going to talk about the game. It's going to be good or it's going to be bad against the Houston Texans. There's no in between. Either we're going to look good or we're going to get embarrassed. And I don't know how we can get embarrassed by a team that was 20th against the pass. And we got a QB that loves to pass. I just don't understand how we can lose that game. But realistically, Houston is a great team. They're a playoff team, and we're not. Their defense is good, so we'll just have to see. But I do have the Bears winning. That's my squad. But realistically, I will not be surprised if we got manhandled on national television. So, with that being said, that concludes this episode of Five on the Play. I'm your host, Kristy Love. Follow Team MBS Media on all social media platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Instagram. And follow them. And also check us out online at teammbsmedia.com for all articles, sports, lifestyle, current events, everything. And follow your girl. I am Kristy Love on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm trying to grow my TikTok page, so please follow me. I think my Twitter name is Kristy Love Sports. So follow me, and we will talk next week. And I'm going to also bring back the love and the love nots. We're going to pretty much cover the best plays or best players during week 2 and the team or player that did bad in week 2. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, and we will talk soon. Bye.